How's it going, everyone?
What's up, guys?
What's going
Welcome
on?
to Friday Regards. Every Friday, same time. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. Good. How are you guys?
Doing great.
We got a few people in chat already, it looks like. Russ Young, thanks for coming. Barbado Joe.
What's up, Joe? What's up, Patrick?
Dagan.
What's up, Dagan?
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, Joe, appreciate you coming out. Always
Yeah,
glad to see you. Dagan, Patrick, Russ, awesome guys. Glad to have y'all.
I'll
start things off here. I want to remind everyone today we've got Bambox Fella. Actually, we have an affiliate code that you can use with Bambox Fella. Regard 15. Regard 15 will save you 15% off. Our other discounts are linked down there at the bottom or at the bottom there as well. But today until actually tonight, I think it's 12 o'clock.
Yep.
If you purchase the CBD combo with Bambox, you will get the unreleased Munchie scent for free. So awesome deal. Take advantage of that, guys.
Killer deal. Hop on that while you can.
Definitely. So how do you guys want to start out here? Well, I wanted to mention, actually, we've got, since this is our first show since we added Chad Straza to the regard. Chad Straza will be a new member. So he is actually over at Scott, Beard Times with Scott's channel right now. There's a few other streams going on, obviously. But he is going to be over there tonight, and next week he'll be back with us here. So we want to welcome Chad on for sure.
Yeah.
And let's get into a little video here, and we'll introduce our guest for tonight. If I can find it, here we go.
All right. Welcome on in, gentlemen. Any ladies out there? Hello. We'll let everybody come on in, and we're going to leave this video up to stay kind of like a series. So the goal is to have anybody that's growing a new beard kind of experience this journey with us. And first, I would like to introduce, we call him the Mayor. Mr. Mayor, introduce yourself. Tell the people what they need to know.
What's up, everybody? I'm the Mayor. I don't know how I found myself here. Obviously, I don't fit in too well. I'm just, kind of thrilled to be here, getting to hang out with DNC. I've been aware of this whole channel since he was talking about in the car, and I've watched it grow. And I'm kind of excited for the ride.
And we played Pokemon together pretty addictively. Like we were committed. We'd spend nights like driving to Detroit to go play for hours and hours and hours, and driving back and getting little sleep.
Right.
To play Pokemon. So Beard Octane says, seriously love the daily photos for the Mayor. Going to be epic at the end when you put them all together, like his face in the exact same position every time. Exactly. It's going to be an amazing video that's going to cycle through and see the growth. So I'm pumped for that. First, show off your shirt, Mayor.
Oh, yeah. Beard Rookie.
Beard Rookie.
It's a single edition, and just... Well, first of all, I think I'm not going to commit. I'm not going to do any commitments for a while. I'm going to be, beard on the run, kind of beard on the lamb, or whatever you want to call it. But, right. It's no more summer beard. Summer beard, making it fine. But it's going to be a fall beard. And I honestly can't believe it.
It's a well manicured stash.
I thought I had things under control getting into this.
Yeah, it's very well manicured.
But I didn't think that this would be part of it. I thought it would just kind of fade, and I really like having this. And thank you, Joe. And it's definitely about you guys, but it's more about me. And it makes me feel good, and I just want to ride this out. I think I'm shocked that it came to this, and that I'm just gonna go and rock the beard and see how it goes. But part of me is like, what kind of person would I be to shave it and not go back to school and show what a good professional person you can be, having facial hair and having a beard.
It's really good coverage. I don't know what about. I mean, let's see. Let both sides.
Well, and here's my thought process for that too. I know it's shorter than a lot of guys wanted, but going from 40 years of nothing to anything is it's a big change. It is. It's like I still have like waves of doubt about it, but I am, ultimately it's been such a cool summer and a good summer, and I have to attribute a little bit of that to the beard and the process and the confidence you get. So here I am, rocking like a hurricane.
There's no doubt, no matter if it sounds corny or what, a beard can change your life, man.
Welcome in, Mayor.
Welcome, Mayor. How's it going?
Oh,
I think I got you. I'm sorry. Well, now
we're
welcome,
good.
Mayor. I do that every single time.
You don't know what I'm going to be saying in the background. You're smart. You never know. At least it tells me once I'm in the show, because you never know with me. Well, thank you for having me, guys. Did you see me? I grabbed the OG hat. That was like
original.
That was 2.5, maybe summer of 2019, I think. Gosh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went back and watched some of those old ones. I had to catch up on some of the old ones you had there.
Well, bless your heart.
It's always fun. It's always fun watching you guys. You guys have so much fun, and you can see it up there on screen. You have so much fun together.
I felt like watching, and I don't talk about myself, but I guess I'm the guest, so I get to talk about myself a little bit. But I felt like once like that last clip, all of a sudden there was like a new gear. Like I was a little more. The first time I was, looking to Dan for like every little thing. I was a fish out of water for sure in every aspect. And I've never watched those before, so especially never kind of like that, because you took a good couple pieces of the stage. You got Joe Schmo, no beard guy, never been on front of a camera. Then he had a little scruff, and he was good. And then kind of got a little comfortable in front of the camera there at the end of the summer, and yeah, that was really cool. Thank you.
You can see your confidence grow through those weeks of the process. You can see it. So
and the beard too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely
Do you still feel like a rookie sometimes?
Well, I got a shorter beard than most guys. Do I feel like a rookie? No. It's only because we kind of transitioned into the advice aspect of the show. I took a good year and a half where Dan and I were just we were doing majorly bearded, and we were just hanging out, having jerky. And it was really kind of getting my sea legs, learning, listening, and then asking the questions about carrier oils and what, argan is and all that stuff. And just so that was a good play, because there's people watching that are like that too. So I play dumb very well.
There's always something to learn. There's always a learning process, and there's always something to continue to learn, So.
Oh, sure. As an 8th grade science teacher, I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's everybody got in beard tonight?
Yeah, let's throw that up there. What's in beard?
Let me think. Tonight? You guys go first. I have to think about this, because this is a late night for me. I'm into it. Like you guys caught me perfectly. I'm in my second wind. We joked, Dan and I, a little bit about how my filter kind of wears out about 10. So if you guys did this on purpose, good for you. So I have to think about. I walk around my house. I get to do so many different things. Oh, you know what? Okay, I said you could go first. You guys go first.
What do you got, Casey?
Some CBD.
Beard to the future.
Oh yeah,
to the future. That's what I'm wearing tonight. Yep. Very nice.
Nick?
I love the scent.
Oh, I got lime and coconut from Karamna Durtha today.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I got Aberdeen from the new Chesapeake Scent of the Month.
How is it?
It's amazing. It's like a fresh honey scent. Like if your detergent for your clothes was like a honey with some lemon type of scent to it, it's just fresh and oh man, it's amazing. It's good stuff. Well done, Gary.
And for me, I'm also Chesapeake. I've been addicted to this. It's the CBD pineapple. I call it Gary's pineapple in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Kawhi.
Kwai.
It's got
Kwai.
why a Kwai. Yes,
No, Kwai. Yeah.
I thought you were saying why. Yeah, no, I love that scent so much. Like, it is the tang of pineapple without the sweet like sickiness. I don't, it's tang of pineapple with a smoke finish that just takes that edge off. Ooh, it's a good band. It's truly a top oil for me.
Nice.
That's a good one. I have that one as well.
Karam's wearing some Cinnamon Dream.
Yeah,
Cinnamon Dream.
Gary is definitely a scent smith. I mean, he really understands how to craft a scent. We got a few of them in this community, which is great. They all compete with each other and just level up. You know,
It is absolutely. I'm learning how it's a kind of a not a one ups, but like they feed off each other in a good way. As long as everybody's making money and staying in business and staying happy. I feel like I have to say Mac with the cheese for Dan. But
Mac with the
there you
cheese.
go.
somebody needs to say that whenever he shows up.
Yeah.
This calling card.
Yeah.
Jordan's wearing that new Magic City he just put out tonight. That was a good show, Jordan.
Yeah, definitely a good one.
Nice show.
What is the new Magic City? It was a city.
Flagler?
Okay.
Is that what it was?
Flagler.
Okay.
Flagler, yep.
What you guys happen to know the profile on it? Because
Was it the barbershop
Barbershop.
one?
Oh, okay. You
It's,
did a barbershop.
It's barbershop with agave and lemon.
Agave, yep.
So and the fact that I can have this conversation with you, like about carrier oil scent profiles, that's me, man. That's this Mayor's Beard journey,
Yeah, right here.
for
Love
sure.
So much fun.
Oh, yeah, Jordan's throwing it in there.
Speaking of Mayor's Beard Journey, what got you to want to even start that whole journey? I mean, what made you want to get into the beard journey? Obviously, you and Dan C had a friendship and knew each other, but what kind of started the whole journey?
You know, I if I have a talent, it's probably for recognizing talent, not my own, like, but for I feel like what Dan does is very special, and as he started the slow motion of just getting 2 subscribers, 10. You know, I feel like I was one of his first 10. I don't think I was the first one, but we knew, anyways, I wanted to get involved. And because it was exciting, I was ready for an adventure. Like we got to know each other. We worked together, but we got to know each other through Pokemon Go, going out, hearing stories about coworkers and friends that I won't go into specifics or name any names, but getting to know him as a person, and then kind of learning each other's kind of almost neurotic ability to like just grind on things, like to just focus and just go. And so we connected that way. Well, but I remember literally I was sitting in church in this maybe March, April, around Easter time, maybe like thinking about what am I going to do this summer? And I just had this idea of, you know what? I'm going to throw this at Dan. I'm going to type it up. I wrote it up on a Google Doc, and I said, I want to do your show once a week. I want to do a show once a week where I'm the new beard guy. And I want to just get involved and do this, and so provide a new perspective on it. And I thought maybe he'd grab it. He would have told me no. Like Dan's the kind of guy he would have said, I don't think that's right now for the channel, those kind of things. But he was into it. When we started rolling with it, and so I typed it up, and then I just got excited about it, and it was super nice to just be excited about something for the first time. And I said, I'm gonna try a beard, and I had planned to just do it for that summer through the show and kind of talk about what that was like. I didn't expect it. I genuinely didn't expect to have a beard But I honestly feel like that guy that wanted to do that, he's not even around. Like this is like I'm like 2.0, maybe 3.0 from new version from that guy.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, I agree I agree with that. Since I've started getting into the beard products and the beard world and this whole community, it's changed my outlook on myself. It's changed the outlook on how I view the world, how I view others. Actually, I mean, it's changed.
Sure.
It's definitely changed me for the better. Self-care is mental care. Self-care, it can be a lot more than just better for the skin and for the for your beard. So
A beard makes you look in the mirror. And the guy in from that video, he wasn't looking in the mirror much. Like that guy didn't want to look in the mirror. He was the guy taking the pictures for the family. And that whole process, of starting to take care of yourself, pay attention, watching that slide into bad health. If you close your eyes enough, which I kind of was doing, it'll happen.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite companies you started out with at the beginning?
Okay. So from the beginning or like now, when I started.
So I guess some of your go-tos at the beginning, and what are you kind of rocking with now?
All right, awesome. I love. I don't know how I couldn't go to a zoo and pick. Not that they're all zoo animals, but like there are so many varieties and things. Beard Octane, Joe hooked me up from day one. With just like a starter, like just an experience, like a bunch of different stuff. He's giving beard butter to a guy that was like basically clean. The company stock. Yeah. Hey, Dan. He's up. I hope he's doing good. I think it's been a long week for all of us here. We're getting back into school, but companies, Beard Octane, was my first experience and pretty special to me. Chesapeake, Gary was right there with Joe in the beginning, supporting me. I think I still have. He gave me one of the big Chesapeake water jugs. To be, for me, those are the two probably founders. Detroit Grooming, I love their style. I love their scent. Like I really feel like if we're gonna get women to buy guys beard products, you got to do what Detroit Grooming is doing as far as the way that Leland butter. Oh my gosh. Traverse City, I love cherry tobacco. Dan and we're not all, he's not a big tobacco guy. They're great. They're amazing. Whiskey and Hardtech. Holly she's 3 steps ahead. Okay. Yes. She's already making what's going to be big next fall. And I admire that. Magic City is, I think, an up and comer. Bearded Coast, same. There are so many. Royal Beardsman has one of my favorite carrier blends of all. I love a lot of times if I have a butter that I want to stick with, I'll go with their neutral scent that they're unscented because they have a great feel. Different times of the year, I have different oils that I like more and less. It's just there are so many nuances. So those are all amazing. Black Rebel, I love they're awesome. Like their attitude and their scents have the attitude too. If I think what I'm talking. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I love it. Their whole image. Fable, oh my gosh, Fable the grower, is probably is like a stepping stone. Like it was like the next level for me in beard oil. So they all, if they're still in business for a good amount of time, they have some success. So I've, I get to focus on the positive with the stuff I do in Facebook group and things like that. So I don't really think about certain things from a company that I don't like. I think about what I love, their washes, their conditioners, all that stuff.
Was Fable the first CBD that you used then? You said you've been getting into some of the CBD oils. I
think my first CBD I tried was Dan's collab. He has He has
Okay.
a guy in this area that he did, like an ice, I think it's called, or something like that. That was my first CBD. Fable would be right there, and then the Chesapeake as well.
Okay. Yeah, I want to try Chesapeake's. I've got ice. I really like Dan's ice collab. That's really nice.
Yeah, that stuff is magic. I've used it on bruises and pain and sore muscle, and I'm not exactly sure if you're supposed to do that or if it works, or if it's supposed to work, or if it's just in my head. But legitimately, it like helps a little bit with muscle strains.
You know, I like peppermint for some situations like that too, and that peppermint really comes out of that oil. So I really like that. Here's Liam talking about tacos, making everyone hungry.
What's up, Jay Cruz? How are you?
Case is the first to have the ice scent on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, I got that on the charity auction that night.
Among many other things.
Yeah, there was a few other things. I had a goal of helping out that night, and I had a budget, and I might have went a little over that budget that night, but it was for a good cause. So that's what matters.
And the spirit that led you to do that, I am blown. Oh, I never like such an aspect that I didn't even see coming. That there is truly something to these beard guys that give you their shirt, their pants, the shirt off their back. What you see generosity, and you see like little things with GoFundMe's and things like that. But it is if there's a cause, there is a guy in the beard community that's going to take my breath away with how like just they pour their resources, their energy, their love into it. I never saw that coming. Dan it's hard when you're not a beard guy to listen to your buddy who's doing a beard show. Beard guys, beard. Yeah. Make sure no Z. There is a show that it's hard to listen about beards and hard to like really kind of fathom what he's talking about. Especially when I never thought I'd have a beard. So I'm like, okay, but it really is true. There's something, there's a brotherhood that I've seen time and time again.
That's my wife. She's commenting on how much we went over.
Well,
but
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Walt. Go ahead.
I think that there is a brotherhood. We are. It's a battle. It's a battle to change the society's views on beards. Beards tend to be looked at as someone that's lazy or unkempt, and so it's an everyday battle that you take pride in yourself and you make sure that you look presentable and that you're showing that your beard is something that you take care of, and that to try and change that mindset. And it takes some work, and then also you're actually putting more effort into yourself in that way. So you're also growing in that aspect. Well,
I'll tell you, I internally wrestled with going back to work. This is my 20th school year, so I've worked with a bunch of people for a long time, and I internally agonized with like I'm a thinker, I'm a processor. How do I go back to work and people see my face and they're like, why are you changing everything? Like, what does that mean about you? And I ended up coming to the point where they might ask me that question, but then they're going to get on with their day. This is my life, my face. I'm getting so much from this. Let's go. Let's move on. Man up a little bit. Don't sweat that. What they're saying, because it's not really it's a comment to them. It's what they see that's different about you. But for me, it was so much more. I was just held on to it. I was pretty short and stubbly at that point, like going back, but I had those conversations, and then life went on. And now I like look at the opening video, and I don't know if my wife's watching, but I thought, I don't know if that guy's ever going to be back in this world. Like, I see that as a stepping stone to who I am now, not something that I would go back to. to be honest.
The
I can't
journey
believe I.
has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that journey, you started that journey. It's not stopping.
No,
Mhm.
no, I genuinely, you know, it has it just blown me away.
You know, and not to get too personal, but you can see the difference in just the look, your look. I mean, you
Oh
can
my
tell
gosh.
you've gotten health. I mean, you can tell the
Right.
healthy.
Well, I lost that
Yeah,
summer. I did
yeah.
lose some weight too. The pandemic has put it on right here, but it's not in my face. And I'm a regular exerciser now. You know, I'm talking elliptical for 30 minutes. You know, like I was doing it every day. It's probably every 3 days, every 2 or 3 days, but 30 minutes of it. But again, when I started facing myself in the mirror and seeing that, it almost, you know, like paying attention to my own health. Otherwise, I was just that Joe guy going, you know, making bad health choices or just kind of losing track of it, losing myself and raising my kids and my job, going through the routine. And all of a sudden I feel like this whole adventure has snapped me out of that. And I'm so like unbelievably grateful for that.
How soon after you started growing out the beard did you kind of decide to make some of these health changes?
Oh, it was kind of a deal with my wife. She said, you need to drop some pounds. So we got a plan together, and so go ahead and try the beard too, and we'll see what happens. And they both of those decisions have, I mean, going in the, like, who knows, like with the pandemic, if my health had been as bad as, and it's not like, we're not talking a big deal. Like, we're not talking like earth shattering, but it's almost like mindset. Yeah. Some of it is weight, but it's also mindset as far as paying attention to me or avoiding me and paying attention to everything else.
Yeah, as I say, I mean, from that first video of you without the beard to you sitting in front of us for now, it's like night and day difference of who you are. You just all around, you seem happier, healthier, just a better all around you, you know?
I love that you said that, because I as I watched that, I wondered if it was that stark and obvious as well to other people. So yeah, and so grateful, so happy that you know, I'm on this side of it rather than the other side of it. And you know, it's never, you know, maintaining good health is, or a good beard for that matter, is not something that ever stops. It's something you have to hold as a high priority, or a priority at least in your life, to whatever level you're going with it. I'm talking the health definitely, but with the beard, you can have a pretty decently kept beard with 10 minutes a day. You know, health not so much, but for sure, both of those two adventures were like linked together. And you know, the third thing, to be honest, I think Nick, you kind of mentioned it, is that I've never really talked about, is kind of like the confidence aspect. And you can't really hang out with Dan for too long. You can't sit that close and you absorb it a little bit. It just, you know, it's in the walls over there. But, and I'm joking, but I'm also not. When you see his success, his kind of good balance, his energy brings, it can't help but be a little infected by it. And then when like you're doing like the Beard Advice live show, and you start to see more people coming into the show, and you're starting to see, oh my gosh, having some success in something is amazing what it can do for your outlook.
Having a little success in something is amazing what it can do for your outlook. I mean, just this channel alone has done wonders for me. This community has done, honestly, just diving into this community a little bit and meeting some of these really positive people has changed my outlook. So, you know, just the little things can definitely change you. It doesn't have to be something major to make a change.
You just have to be open to it. You or ready for it, or
receptive.
Have a, you know, or a little bit of everything, all those things.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but you know, we don't really have anybody, at least for me, that I can go and talk to about beard stuff very often. So when I go into Beard Advice Live and I can talk about trimming and maintenance and angle of the cut, and then removing transparency and all these different things that we all talk about and completely understand. But if I was to go to work or talk to my family about it, they'd be like, what the heck are you talking about? You know, so it's a place that we're able to go and talk and share similar interests.
I have a small, like, minor fantasy someday. Like, one of my hairstylists is going to say, so do you, like, what do you do for your beard? And I'm just going to lay down, like, well, you know, just drop all the fade comb, which Chicago comb I like, my favorite carrier blends, the way I like to do a maintenance trim versus taking a little, you know, just kind of strut my beard, you know, knowledge, even though I'm compared to many not so knowledgeable, very, very new to it. I'm proud of what I have learned so far. And it doesn't come up much in 8th grade science.
I don't know. I think you know a good amount now, man. I mean, when I watch you on Beard Advice Live, you know, what you talk about is very relevant, you know, especially when you're giving advice on people with short beards and business beards or kind of that medium length, you know, you bring it.
I appreciate that.
Soaked up the knowledge. You can tell you've soaked up that knowledge. You give out very good advice. I love that beard advice. I was on Beard Advice. I think it was in September or sometime last year. And that's kind of my initial start into the community too, was sending a picture over to you guys, and the confidence it gave me, the confidence that everyone on the screen was like, hey, great beard, you know, I mean, and the same thing with your Commands Corner. That's kind of the same environment there. You can send a picture in and everyone is there to lift you up and help bring you up.
The Facebook group. Yeah,
the Facebook group. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Well, we hold that so high that it's a safe space for everybody. That it is, you know, Dan especially, but we've all kind of worked, you know, just like we build a community in our school, our classroom. We had real conversations about some of our skills that like work with that and having rules and kind of holding them. So that we can get to where we are with that Facebook group, Commands Corner, because I feel like it's pretty special. 5,400 beard dudes. Not, you know, some much more active than others, but so what? Some probably just like the shenanigans amongst everybody on there. And that is something, you know, that kind of came out after, you know, Dan and I did the, I got like a little shot in the arm doing the summer thing with that. And then I said, Dan, you know, we'll talk, you know, if something comes up and you need a guy, I'm your guy. Well, lo and behold, we started talking about this Facebook thing. I had never had a Facebook account. Didn't know anything about it. But what I did know is that I wanted to get involved.
How long have you guys been doing that for?
Commands Corner started a year and 3 months ago. It was like, and I know that very carefully. We just did it on New Year's Eve. We opened it up and started it.
That's like a lion's den to jump into if you haven't been in Facebook before. So,
yeah, I can imagine.
It was what it's done is, it would be. I don't really use it for much other than Commands Corner group. If I'm gonna if I want to share something, those are my guys. Like, I'm going to put it out there. Like, oh, I got a cool little picture of the car today. I'm going to make a filter out of it, you know, but we have to be proud of what our beards and you get a good little angle, just like everybody gets a bad angle once in a while with their beards. We talked about that on Beard Advice Live. You get a good angle. There's nowhere to put it. Well, we want to, you know, we're happy to be that place. And I think a lot of guys must have those same thoughts, because it's doing well. It's
definitely a sanctuary, you know. That's how I see it, you know. Like, when I open Facebook, I'm not very active on Facebook. When I open it, it's my family and maybe some high school friends and stuff like that, and it's Commands Corner. You know, that's what I got on my Facebook. So I'll scroll through and see the side gear Saturdays and the monochrome Mondays and all that stuff like that. And it's just fun to kind of see all these great people in there.
You know, there's the beard level and then there's the brotherhood level, and they're equal. They sneak up on you, you know, like sometimes it's like, all right, that guy's got like, okay, so his angle is a little bit different than mine, or his his front, it looks like he's got I like that. I like his profile. And then sometimes it's like Sonny saying, gosh, this is a great country. I'm so happy to be here. And you're like, I was just looking at beards, and all of a sudden I had a perspective change and flip on me. Wow. And those, the members kind of bring it to that level when you get comfortable, everybody's respectful. That's when you get to the value. There is truly, especially this past year of the pandemic, it's, I have to think that has helped the group grow more quickly than it would have, just because we're all looking for connection. Trying this, not everybody gets to do this. What I get, you guys inviting me, this fills like so many needs of mine. So the Facebook group putting out videos on Tuesday, the guys collaborating for videos. Some of our group members, they meet up every Sunday at 8 and they just hang out and talk like this. They don't broadcast it, but Dan's been in with them, I've been in with them, and it's really cool. I do believe this, and that truly all of us humans, all people, we're way more alike than we are different. Some of our experiences might be different, but we've felt the same about them. And I think you only get one shot at like connecting and living life in a way. Might as well like see the connections rather than the ways that you're different.
We had a question
in here for you.
Chat here.
Oh,
all right.
My wife.
Get it, Walt.
I'll put it up.
There you go.
All right.
My wife's
So
asking, what's the story? Yep. What's the story behind the name Mayor?
It's still like when Dan and I and our friend Todd were getting to know each other and just kind of hanging out, like literally driving through Ann Arbor or driving through Detroit, walking the streets of Detroit, trying to catch animated program little blips. I just started like trying. I was not stopping. I was going. Like I would go out every, just grinding, and it kind of got to the point where I was the guy that was like in Pokemon Go. You have gyms, and I would put my guys all in, and I was like what was it, Adam Sandler, where he plays dodgeball with the kids, and I was like the monster. So I was kind of dominating the game, and the one you would always see that name because there is that social element of Pokemon Go anyways. So then they came out with this like hat you could buy for like literally $8, and it was like a top hat. So I bought it and I texted Dan and Todd and I said, you know what, guys, there's a lot of money, but I'm the mayor. And they're like, and then like they kind of had joked about that before. I just kind of decided to own it a little bit and say, yeah, okay. I'm a bit of a I can be a smoozer. I don't know, when we talk and things like that. So I'm no interest in politics, but sometimes I think I must sound like one, a politician.
That's good.
There's nothing wrong with being well liked by a lot of people. That just there's nothing wrong with that, and some people are more comfortable with it than others, and just depends on the person. But I think you fit really well into the role, and I'm interested to see what the future holds for you if you ever decide to get into reviews or anything else like that.
I don't have any plan. Like I didn't plan to have a beard right now. I don't have any plans to go out on my own. I'm like a pretty. I feel like I'm Scottie Pippen. Was a great basketball player. Had a great. He didn't do so well with his contract. Come to find out from the. Did you guys watch the? What was it? The Bulls one that came out right at the beginning of the pandemic. I think. Yes. But oh my gosh, if I had said, man, I really like this beard, and after Dan and I did that summer, I'd had an intro. I had a great intro with my connection with knowing Dan. If I had decided to go out on my own and do my own thing, I wouldn't have learned a millionth of as much. I wouldn't have had the opportunities The Facebook group has grown me, like I don't think there's anything wrong with recognizing like how I kind of can step up into some spots and he can count on me for certain things, certain aspects, without having to be the guy, like all the, you know what I mean? And then with the beard advice too, it's very visual. You got guys tuning into the show. It's kind of a smart play to have, you got Dan's beard and then my beard and, therefore everything in between as well. It's, I don't think I don't know if Dan and I've ever really talked about that, but it visually offers, somebody might hop into the live stream and say, what's this all about? And then if like it's Dan's beard, you would say to themselves, oh, okay, so this is a big beard channel. They're going to talk about the blowout video, like all the big beard's responsibilities you get when you get to that giant man mane. But then they see the mayor, they see me, and I'm talking. I think I'm a very open, very sometimes too open with my thoughts, my insecurities, things like that. But that works. It just plays really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's similar to our channel. Like we wanted to start here because we've got 3 different beard types and 3 different personalities, and you can click to whichever one you click to. So it kind of works out that way.
Variety. People look for a connection with this, with the beard shows, and I think you're right on it with that for sure. And if you like talking about beards, like I honestly think beards, I look around. That was the other thing going back to what got me into it is all the guys I saw with facial hair and kind of envied a little bit. I don't think I ever told Dan that, but I don't know if I ever told him that, but like, man, that's kind of cool. Like, but I had this like path in my head that I was going to be clean shaven or whatever. It turns out like the things that I was trying to achieve, the confidence, whatever, the happiness, I got there a lot faster with a beard than whoever I thought I was without it. Like it turns out, like a shortcut to what some of my goals were.
Sean says, it's been great having you on Wednesdays. The beard advice is amazing for everyone. Thanks for getting away from the hot challenge.
Oh, the hot challenge. Yeah. We, I try to, look, tell me that I'm a kind of, I still have the death nut challenge. Like it's just the cardboard. Okay. Just so I never forget. We were doing a ton of hot foods.
Yeah.
We're done, and I am kind of when you start to pay the price the next day, and you start to wonder about that. But so the Carolina Reaper, I don't think I'm ever going to get along with that pepper. It's mean. So I like hot, but I don't. But I feel like our Dearborn links are hot, but then there's just like feats of manhood and masculinity, and like the Death Nut Challenge. Those are cool once in a while, but to do that like every week or every day would be a lot. And my stomach is not built for that.
Hey, Ryan.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey, Ryan.
What
So you obviously. Oh, go ahead, Dick. Go ahead.
No, go for it, Casey. You're good.
Oh, you're talking about some of the moments with Dan. You guys have a ton of fun on that channel and lots of fun moments together. Not to put you on the spot a little bit. What's some of the funnest moments you've had with Dan on the channel?
Okay. Our show on Wednesday was we gave away like $500 in giveaways. Like I'm walking into his house, we're whispering because his kids are sleeping, and he's like, "Oh, we got a grill we're giving." I'm like, "What?" Like we spent the first 20 minutes just giving things away. And I reached out to the owners. I should do it more, but a few of the people that just played a role in that and said how much I appreciate that just to show gratitude, that they were kind of because it supports our channel and all that. So that was just all those giveaways last week were great. You know what? As far as the show Beard Advice goes, is how like truly when these guys do their follow-up shots and they look like $1 million or at least $1 million more than they did, I think like I played a part. This guy's walking through his town or whatever, and he's got more confidence. And I had a little bit of that because of the way the show works and all that. That's awesome. I'm trying to think for Dan and I, like he's taught me a lot. He's taught me a lot about kind of, social media, business, when to draw a hard line, when to hold the line on things. We really, it's big. I'm going to think about that too. Some other big moments because, I don't know. It does, we live our lives, but we always have Wednesdays kind of, you know what I mean? And within that frame, after the show, we get to talk, and more days than not, we debrief quickly. And I don't know if you guys do the same thing, but we talk about what went well, how it came across, certain, advice, things that we like, different advice that we gave, the follow-up pictures. I love that moment when I love the show, but I love because you get hype. Like Dan, like we both, I guess the biggest thing is the connection that we get. Like when we're going into the show, like Dan goes into like a zone. Like he is in the zone. And the other day, like one of the funniest things is he had this big old, like, I think he hurt his elbow or something. And he had like run out to get his water or something right before the live stream started. And he smashed it coming in. And then like the next day he sent me a text message. Our community said, like my elbow's killing me. And I'm like, dude, you killed it on the door on the way in right before the live stream started. He had no memory of that. Did not remember it at all. Right. Like he was in the zone. There is also a definite just camaraderie of helping people out and also being able to, and I'm proud. Another big thing for me is I'm proud to do it in a way that is kind, supportive, productive. The chat, follows along kind of as far as how they communicate, and they're not going to throw out negatives. So like my biggest, those are my biggest things is that we're helping people, that we get in the zone together, that we kind of notice the same things. And sometimes we don't always notice the same things. I'm sure one of his biggest is my singing. He loves that. If I had to speak for, I don't know, but I really enjoy it. We say it every time, like that we are grateful to have that opportunity. And you guys, I'm sure, feel the same way. This is like therapy. It's like man therapy. Like I open up more, and like I've gone completely around to where I was kind of like super reserved, didn't know if I wanted people to know that my name's Steve or whatever, to all the way to now where like I probably open up more easily in this format than I do when I at home and talking sometimes. So I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is crazy how willing I am, even because I'm closed in. I always have been, but this community has really helped bring me out of my shell in a way.
Sure. So
I appreciate that from everyone. Definitely all the support we've gotten and all the positivity in this community is just amazing.
It is an unexpected support in my life. Like it's how you have you might have your parents or your wife or whatever. All of a sudden I have, and I think that's kind of why I have kind of just gotten more comfortable in front of the camera, is that I feel like I can just be myself, and you don't do that if you don't feel supported and safe.
Did you have anything else, Walt, you wanted to ask?
No, I mean, I really like what y'all do, and the positivity is really great. Just imagine the 200 people or 300 people that watch every Wednesday standing outside your house. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're there to see you and Dan C every single Wednesday. It's impressive.
I think about like my biggest college classes, like that would be about the size of the room, and that's kind of like that'll knock you over if you think about it. How many people are tuned in, you know, and there are some people that never comment, and there are some people that love the comment in the chat, and it's kind of fascinating, and to think that I'm doing this. This is a thing that didn't exist when I was a kid. Like people didn't do this stuff. You know, it was network television, and network television's all going, all, you know, as far as that goes, to find so much joy and belonging. I guess that's it. Belonging for me, and something that I didn't even know existed as a kid is amazing. I've always been a planner. I want to know what's ahead. This, you know, but almost to a fault. And I think I get to be in the moment. I have all through the pandemic for me. You know, we were teaching from school. Everything was different. Everything was up in the air. The only routine I had was Wednesday night. Okay. Like everything else was just with I have two sons, taking care of them and my wife. And, but I had to get out of the house, and we did that. You know, I think actually we did do it remotely for a little while. There's definitely something for us being in the same place. We're very lucky to be able to do that. It's, you know, but I had that routine, and I hope that the guys, like the people that watch that watch the Beard Advice show, that we're part of their routine too. Cause there's not, you know, even if whether they're the commenters, or they are people that just watch or whatever they're there for, we all need a little bit of routine in our lives and places we're accepted and to go to. And so unknowingly, like 2 years ago, starting to decide that growing a beard probably truly helped my mental health through this hard time that we're I think hopefully kind of starting to get out of.
Yeah.
What's something about the mayor that we don't know about from just the beard stuff? What's something about you that you'd like to let us know about other than just the beard?
I sang in my high school choir. That was a weird one. I was born in New York. I'm raised in Michigan though. Something else. I have to think about that a little bit more.
Do you still sing?
No. Well, just casually, like at home. No organized stuff. I was all right. I tried it like my first little bit in college, but it was just, I enjoyed it, whatever, but I wasn't that good at it. Like I wasn't like I don't know. It came and it went, and it was a great part of who I am now. But now I just save it for people on Wednesday nights once in a while. If I get in the zone, if I'm feeling the vibe, I'll bust out a tune. You tell that guy and that we watched earlier that he's going to be doing that in a year or two. Like he would have not believed you, to say the very, very least.
Yeah.
I love listening. I'm always listening to a book on tape, like an audio book. I've always got one going. So maybe that's a little weird. Like when I game like Rocket League or whatever, I turn the sound off and I listen to a book. I like to have a lot. I like to have more than one like thing going at the same time.
Yeah, that's definitely true, Ryan. I'm proof of that myself. So.
Wow, that's Dan and the mayor have saved lives. You see it in the chat. Others have bad days and come in chat on their attitude changes and they mention it. Truly amazing what these two can do. That is, I never really thought of that, but you're probably if you're not absolutely right, you're not far off, and that's staggering, but humbling as well.
Definitely right. I can attest to that. It was Beard Advice that brought my confidence back up and really helped me get into this community, I owe that to you. So definitely.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Well, we all have people that played a role in getting us from one step to the next, and that touches my heart. Like, I don't know what to say except thanks. Thank you for sharing that too, because, we all know sometimes you feel like nothing's getting started, nothing's good. Everything, you go from scratching the car to snapping at the kid when you walk in the door, doing exactly what you said you weren't going to do, to your, in your head, your internal talk. So when to hear that, obviously it's been a starting point for you. And then you got invited me on to this, like, how cool I feel to say, you know what, I'm going to do a live stream tonight. Yeah. It's going to be a little later because we're across the country and all that stuff like that. Tell me that's not awesome to be able to say and do. A little swagger, it really does help my confidence and makes me happy. So it goes right back. It's full circle as far as that goes.
Well, we definitely appreciate having you on for sure, because like I said, I owe a lot to you and Dan. So, and this community, not just you and Dan, but there's a lot of people in this community that I owe a lot to. So that's why I'm here doing this.
I never knew that. I genuinely thought beer guys were grumpy, and like most of my life, like I just there is a trust factor. Like there's like the guy that you want going in, running into the build, like something, man, there is like an inherent manliness, like step up to the plate. Oh, he's got a beard. Okay. He's my guy. But on the other hand, I had like I never knew, regardless of whatever you choose your face to look like, there's so many amazing guys, and maybe even more, because when you grow a beard, you kind of do it. It's one of the uniquely man things you can do left in the world. Mm-hmm. And it is something you do truly mostly for yourself, just to become who you want to be. And I would never have known this if I hadn't given it a shot.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And another thing we're trying to do here is to bring more people into the channel and help them start maybe whatever they want to start, maybe a starting point to help them get on stage, get more comfortable with this whole environment and with the whole YouTube atmosphere, and help them grow. So that's another plan that we kind of have for this channel. So
yeah, when I started, so I walked into an amazing, like, my friendship with Dan. Turns out, I mean, that's like a 1 in a million chance as far as it goes, like that connection and having him trust me. And I speak with Dan multiple times every day. We have a chat that we just communicate through. And he is like, okay, if my wife's not there, I got to put it out to him and maybe another buddy or two, but float it out there so that it's not just you dealing with it. And that's where we started. We started from just kind of building that friendship, who caught the cooler Pokemon, all the way to true like challenges as a man, as a husband, as a father, all the way now to kind of operating a business together in a way. And it's just been it's taken me so many different directions. I don't ever want to get off the ride for sure. I don't know if it's going to speed up or slow down, but like we just started doing that Majorly Bearded that kind of turned into Beard Advice Live. And I think you're right on with that. If you're not like, there were definitely times where we were lower on our views and compared to what Dan was doing on Command's Corner, it probably wasn't even worth his time. But as I got better and we kind of focused our like where was our niche or where we fit in, it started to take shape. And I think it is still starting to take shape. But as it stands now, it is going to be worth doing as long as people will come in and submit their pictures and ask questions and open themselves up to that, we'll be there to kind of be there for it. We'll be there to give them that advice, move them forward, because so many guys lose their beards. They get frustrated. They make a stupid mistake and they quit, you know, and they walk out of the bathroom and the family's like, who are you? It happens a lot. Guys don't have anywhere to go to ask about that stuff. Like, we're starting, what we're doing here and what you guys are doing here is starting to get places where it's okay. You can be a man. You can have be testosterone. You can also, I don't know, maybe use a little bit of an exfoliating soap or something once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we might as well. And as you mentioned, Casey, like it leaks into all your overall health and well-being.
Yep. It does, definitely.
And it's a good thing. It's a good leak.
Yes.
Everybody up, you know, for conversation, and I think it allows them to be a little more vulnerable, because otherwise, I mean, before this, you know, you grow a beard and you just have to be a man and you have to know all this stuff, and you're not supposed to ask. And you know, this community's kind of shown that you can't be vulnerable, you can't have questions, you cannot know stuff, and it's okay.
Beard guys can be nice guys, you know. Beard guys are nice guys.
Some of the nicest guys, I would say, that I've met, probably. So,
yeah, agree.
Definitely.
And I will also admit that was even very, you know, within the last few years, until I got into it, I kind of had all the same misconceptions, all the same, you know, as everybody else.
Yeah.
But now that I'm through the looking glass, I'm on the other side of it. I'm gonna try to just. It's done so much for me. I feel like, you know, why not try to plant that seed and see if other guys will think about growing a beard. And I think facial hair, I think we're coming into another phase. You know, the 70s kind of had that, like, you know, early 80s, and then it was like clean cut, and then like everybody's parents were, you know, World War II. Everybody's like the baby boomers, all their parents were military. Most of them, you know, drafted into the World War II, and there was no choice about having facial hair then. So then those people shaped their kids who are my parents' age, you know, and there's not a ton of facial hair. But as we get a little further down, I think we want to look different. We want to do our own thing. And like I said, growing a beard is one of the last remaining, you know, man things. That's cool. But being a man doesn't mean you have to be a jerk, you know?
Yeah. It doesn't mean you don't have to take care of yourself, and there's, you know, and you can't ask for help, like we were saying. And yeah, there's a lot of those misconceptions that come around the whole macho presence. So
it's not good for your mental health. It's not. To not be able to say, yeah, maybe I need to go talk to a counselor about it, which I have, you know, like, I would be embarrassed to say. There was a point in my life when I wouldn't have shared that because I would have said there's something wrong with me. No, dude, there's something right with you. You realize you don't know everything, and if you're stuck in a cycle of worrying about something, it's okay to go to a professional and talk it through. Maybe you don't get anything out of it, but maybe you do. We're as humans, as a species, as a community, we ought to use the things that we have instead of just like sucking it up and, you know, internalizing it and having it impact other areas of our life.
Well, I got a question for you. Kind of go off topic a little bit here.
Sure.
What are your beard goals? I mean, do you have any like specific length or anything in the future you want to go for? Because I mean, I know you've talked about kind of liking the shorter business type beard, but I mean, do you have any other goals in the near future?
You know, I'm still working right here. Like I want to get like a better chisel. So like fill this out a little bit. I don't mess with it anywhere near what I did in the beginning, but yeah. I do feel like there's a little fullness factor. I'm just kind of getting my game still together, still learning. I've got some care routines, but styling and trimming your own beard, it's truly it's not easy. No, like getting at it, even just the idea of how to hold the scissors and make it work to keep that line, all of that. So I'm learning. The other day I did one of those nose hair things.
Thanks for coming.
And I accidentally took some of my mustache off at the top, so it's actually filling back in right here. I ended up having to shave that. I did a full, I took some body out of the whole beard, which by the way makes that the heated brush work a little better. But am I ever gonna be big beard? I don't know. I never thought I'd have a beard at all. So God, I am much probably more open to that down the road, or trying that out, seeing how it goes, than I ever would have thought. But I think right now I'm kind of maintaining. But I would like to get a little bit longer, mess with that and learn what it takes to get that that beard goal guy beard. That when everybody brings in their beard goals and he's looking off into the distance, and it's maybe even airbrushed a little bit. I don't know, probably a little bit. But just kind of, is that a real learning so that I can share that on the show? Learning, is it realistic to do that? So right now, I guess I think maybe someday I'll probably go bigger for sure. You gotta, I have life to live, and why not? But I also want to learn how to, if we're gonna give it beard advice, I like the idea that we maintain our own beards, and yeah. Dan's light years ahead of me on a lot of things. But he's got a different style, and he's got all his tips and tricks. And so I'm studying, I guess. I'm still, for the first couple of years, I was listening to Dan and listening to the questions. And now I'm kind of trying to safely experiment, if that makes sense. Cause you can so easily overdo it. Literally when I got the wax here and I pulled out, I had a little loop in my mustache. That's is center face mustache. It's a big hit. So I ended up having to take a little bit off the note and then do a cleanup trim, because I was doing beard advice the next night. And how can you be on a beard advice show with a hole that you stupidly didn't remember that you can't reheat the wax again and just take it out? You'd have to microwave your head or whatever. So I've had some moments, but again, that kind of experience is relatable to the show, because any guy who didn't have a beard advice show the next day would probably might have just pulled the plug.
Yeah.
Right.
My wife has a question for you as well.
Sure.
She wants to know what your favorite part of Michigan is. So I guess that could go either favorite area of Michigan or just why you like living there. I
might do both.
Okay.
My favorite area is north of Grand Rapids, Traverse City. We have a Interlochen, Traverse City area. It's my wife's father, actually both of her parents have ties to that community. Mm-hmm. So they have a place in Interlochen. You've got the lakes, you've got a really great feel. You have little towns all around the bays there. It's a very unique. You have the peninsula between the two East and West Bay in Traverse City. It used to be a cherry, there's actually not a lot of cherries, but they're all vineyards. It's beautiful. Great restaurants. So that's probably in my heart. My kids, have their whole lives have been able to go up there every summer, many, many, many times. But what do I love? I love our water. Mm-hmm. The science teacher note there, there's no more fresh you want to go where the most fresh water in the world is. And that's going to be a thing. It's going to be a big thing, more and more, fresh, clean water. It's amazing. So geographically, you just have so much. And I think probably, I would hope, honestly, that most people could say that about most states, most of their home states, they're where their heart is, because, that's where we're raised and that's how we're shaped. And it's home to me.
So you were talking about vineyards. Have you, all right, I got a show. My wife hates it. And I am a total history nerd.
Okay.
And it's called The Curse of Oak Island on the History Channel.
I've heard of it. I watched a little bits and pieces.
Okay, so the brothers on that show, they own a winery or vineyard.
Chateau Chantal. I think is that the one, or is it
Maury Vineyards?
Maury Vineyards. Okay, there's
that's up in Traverse City. You ever been there?
I have not been to that one. my wife's the wine drinker. She's the connoisseur, and I'm more like, I go around like, if I drink, it's with a purpose. Typically, I'm not. She's so much more. Women are just more cool than us for sure. But like we've done the vineyard like 20 minutes out of our door, and we in that area of Traverse City, like you can go and you can spend a whole day wine tasting with your wife, and then go home. Your kids are 20 minutes away. They're with grandparents. Have a little mini vacation, go back, and then the next time you can go into the film festival in Traverse City, and you can watch. Some of the movies are a little unique, but as we get with film festivals, but there's just they've done a lot to bring a variety of things. But my favorite wineries, like Black Star Farms, is my favorite. If you ever get out there, Leland, like the Old Mission Peninsula, they're right there. It's called Black Star Farms. They're amazing. They make some wines that I love, and I'm not huge on wine.
Neither am I, which is funny because, like I said, I'm from California and we're from Sonoma County.
Right. Oh, wow.
Like the wine capital of the U.S. I worked at a winery, but I hate wine.
Yeah.
I found one red wine and I fell in love with it. No clue what it was. And that's the only wine I've ever liked. Other than that, never found anything I liked, which is kind of ironic from where I'm at, where I'm from.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that always the way it is, though? Like, you live in Michigan and you don't know how to swim or whatever. People are, take it for granted, like just where we are. But if you don't, wine gives me a headache for some reason. I feel like I always get a headache pretty quick, like instantly. And I think my face turns red. I have like a pectin allergy. I don't know. It's all excuses. I'm just not a wine guy.
No, I turn bright red. I mean, but that's with me, any alcohol. I've noticed that's why I pretty much stopped drinking for the most part, because within like 10 minutes, I'm bright red. It's awful.
And probably you're similar to me too, because if you're gonna drink, it's to relax and to feel. You're not drinking. You're gonna drink. I'm gonna drink Faygo all day over any alcoholic beverage for taste. Yep. And so you hit. I think I do the same thing. I take too many, and I don't do it very much, and I just like I bag it. I bail on it usually.
Yep. Exactly.
So there's some music places up there, good music spots to go to up where you're at?
Well, outside of Traverse City is there's something called Interlaken Fine Arts Camp, and like it's for like really good, like world renowned. Not even just saying that, they come from China, Japan, all over to do this summer like music camp. And actually, like I said, my wife's roots, like the guy who founded Joseph Maddie, he was good friends with John Philip Sousa, big band guy back in that kind of era. And so this place has like, I've seen Aretha Franklin, the Beach Boys a couple times, all at this venue, Ben Folds, Norah Jones, like, not like hard rock, but like Steve Martin did a show like with his banjo, just a variety. Like we can take the boat across the lake. If we don't want to buy a ticket, we can just take the boat and sit behind the amphitheater, which backs up to the water. Mm-hmm. I didn't see it, but my wife saw James Taylor that way. Linda Ronstadt, classic music names, not a ton of super modern, but this is the venue, and it's a small little venue. It's like a secret that it's in the woods. You're in the like big tall pines. You're looking out on the green lake. And if you can't enjoy like music out there, you can't enjoy it anywhere. Like it's truly amazing. So I was blessed. My wife plays the flute, and she actually was a camper there. I was never good enough. Like I did like some acting stuff, but I didn't go to Interlaken. The kids that went to Interlaken, they were like, they had it. They were the ones that really practiced and had the talent. I might have had a little talent, but I wasn't a great practicer, to be honest.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I played tuba in high school, actually. And I could have went to Allstate, but I didn't practice enough.
You made it farther than me, because my French horn was sitting in the closet by like 7th grade.
Yeah. So what is some of your favorite music then? I mean, what do you turn on if you're gonna go to a song for the day?
Oh wow. everything. I just finished the biography. Keith, Rolling Stones. His entire like I've been in a Rolling Stones kind of mood. Like, gosh, there's a couple songs there that they do that like the little guitar intro. They are. I've just been in a zone with them lately. But I love hip hop too. I love. Like I still like to have my ear, like if I'm doing the elliptical, like I'm listening to like whatever's new, whatever, profanity laden stuff. It's just my thing. They probably shared a little bit too much with my kid. I can't help. I'm a pretty, like I know you guys are being very good because I'm I think it's my teacher mode and it's hard to get out of that to the casual mode. But like, when we someday, I think, meet up at some beer, when beards blow up and we're all hanging out in Vegas, you might, I do have that side. I don't need to be like vulgar, but I have that side. It's just really hard for me to. It seems fake to me if I get it, just force it or whatever. But how did I get into talking about that?
You're talking about your favorite music,
right?
What's your go-to?
A lot of it has profanity, but I also like classical, and there's a lot of that interlock in as well. It is an instrumental camp primarily, but some things there's some power, and music is power. Music is like one of man's best ways to say, here's how I feel about something. Here's how this moment made me feel, or this person, or this experience. Now I want you to feel a piece of that too, and you can take me like. Whether it's getting fired up to do a live stream, because I'll do like as I'm driving over to Dan's house to do I always pick a upbeat like lately Post Malone, something like that, just a jam like to get fired up. Music to me has such a part of my life. My wife was an elementary music teacher after she got out of college, and now she's a counselor at the high school. But such a music. My son. On Sunday, we're going to pick up his Pearl drum set. He's graduating from his little junior drum set. Like, he's good. Like, we've gone from paying for skiing, soccer, all those things. I think his angle, his coolness is going to come out of that beat, that drum beat. There's nothing like there's nothing like those drums coming into a football game. You hear them like across the city. Yep. Like that registers. Music is power. So I like truly almost all music. I like a little bit of country music, certain selected things, because it just connects. I love reggae. Do you guys know reggae music is because in Jamaica they could only get 2 radio stations. This is from that Rolling Stones, the book that I just read. They got one out of Nashville, country, and they got one out of New Orleans, which was their their jazzy beat. So they took the lyrics of the country and they threw it on the jazz of New Orleans, and that's what reggae is.
Okay.
Because they only got 2 radio stations. It's like crazy, but
yeah, music is so inspiring. It can change your mood. It can lift you up. It can make you feel sad if you need to feel sad. I mean, it can do so many things. It's so powerful.
Yeah, my he's 12 and maybe he's starting to have girls with a crush on girls and stuff, and I could hear him I could honestly see him listening to words as he's experiencing stuff for his first time. It's pretty amazing when you realize, when you connect on that that's just one of the many levels that you can connect with music. Like, oh my gosh, somebody else has been through it. I love this song because they're saying how I feel. I never knew that could happen,
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching them. I don't know if anyone's seen the Marty Ray Project. Has anyone heard of the Marty Ray Project?
I feel like I've heard of it.
He does a lot of covers.
Yeah, he does a lot of covers. He does do some of his original work too, but great stuff. He had a live in Tampa that was on last night.
And a killer beard.
If anyone, yeah, killer beard, definitely. He's done a few. He's rewrote a few songs into like beard parodies. It's funny. So
I mean, I even like little.
Has it.
a little Weird Al one. Like maybe not as much anymore, but back the 10-year-old me, 11-year-old me, Weird Al was like that dude could throw down some. It was like an honor to. He follows Dan. Oh, okay, then that's probably where I've heard of it because he's probably maybe mentioned it a little bit.
And okay, so he did. Was it that Ice Baby, the Vanilla Ice one?
Mm-hmm.
That cover was so good. It was like, soul. It was kind of, you were just talking about reggae, kind of reggae-esque, kind of, but man, he nailed that one. That one was fantastic.
Well, and that's the beauty.
His style it's awesome. His style and his he's got another guitar player that plays with him, and he shreds on that guitar. It's amazing. CJ is his name. He's a really good guitar player.
Like Ice Baby, music is amazing, and that like you can take the same words and the same idea, but take it so much, have it mean something so different. It's probably one of the coolest like human characteristics there is, like that expression of art. I talked to, we're doing natural selection in science class, and we're talking, what's that? Well, what really separates us from all these other living things and animals? And I think it's going to end up being, not much at all. Probably not as much as we think, but art and that expression and that passion and the idea of a soul and spirit.
Thanks for coming, Rob.
Yeah, what's going on, Rob?
Yeah, I remember just when I hit probably about 12 or 13 years old, and I started listening to music and starting to really kind of connect with it, and like just really like listening to the lyrics, understand how it relates to me, and that's when I started finding my own like type of rhythm where it was like Rage Against the Machine and 311 and just all these different things that had like different emotions and different feelings towards each band and what they relayed. It was how I was able to connect, and then connect with my friends and other people too. Oh, you like Rage? You love, this song. That's awesome. I love that band too. Whatever it might be.
Rage Against the Machine, man. I had some angry college drives. Where they always, I love. There was a point in my life where I'm glad I had them because it was a way to channel like frustration with stuff. Why wasn't I getting where I remember I connected with it at some point, and then you visited other times during your life and not so much, but at that moment with whatever the girlfriend had said or whatever you were fired up about, that was an outlet and that was healthy and kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think Healthy had a question a while ago. It was what's it like to be best friends with Dan? The brothers always working.
The only reason we're best friends is because it fits together. Like we have, I respect his family and his ability, they need him. They need Dad. So I try to give respect his space. I respect his house when I go into it. Because he's it's awesome. It is, I think, mutually beneficial. From my side, he's helped me to truly build confidence. I got to experience so many things. I get to review a different beer company. They send me stuff, and I get to every month and get to meet the new owners or meet, just connections. I've learned so much about running a business, about making real money. School, teaching is totally a profession or career, but you don't deal with the money aspect of things and how to approach that. But as far as being friends, it's really a beautiful thing because, like I said, there isn't a day that goes by in probably the last 2-3 years that we haven't interacted, even if it's just a quick message. We check in and Dan is he's truly super observant, super conscientious, very much shows appreciation and likes to, if somebody does something, if he helps out, he likes you to acknowledge that as well, like any normal person would. And I'm like that, same exact, like, so on that level, because I feel that way on how people react with me, I put it out there and he does the same. But like we both have families, we both have kids. His are younger than mine by about 5, you know, in general, average of 5 years younger. I'm going through I texted him today. Owen's been on the phone with a girl for like 20 minutes, you know? It's like the first time he's ever had, like, so cool to have someone to share that with. Because, you know, you can talk to your wife about it, but she's going to go into her girly areas about it. And it's I don't want to hear all that. You know, I don't, you know, I'm proud of my, you know, just to throw that out to my boys and talk about it. So it just is it's a really good balance, and it's a truly something I probably don't. I know it's had such a huge impact. It's opened doors for me, but the friendship isn't there because of that. The friendship just kind of started because we were like-minded in a lot of ways. Come from teaching, but we talk all, you know, we communicate all the time, and we're at that level where we both make the effort. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like we just have a trust. I think bottom line, I think he trusts me and I trust him he trusts me to like kind of take what he's created with his channel and his brand and never and not like, you know, kind of taking a direction that it shouldn't go. And you know, I trust him to kind of challenge me in some ways and also like tell me the honest truth, you know, straight up, like how many people in your life do you have that you could just look at and say, okay, what do you really think? And it wouldn't be a dance to get to it if you ever did. They'd just tell you in a conscious, like in a way that is like nice to you, but also like straightforward, like the answer you need. How many people do we have in our lives that give us the answers that, you know, like the straight up truth from their perspective? A lot. Usually there's a ton of time and energy and noise to get to that level. And we've, you know, somehow, some way found ourselves at that point in that level and are both better off for it. And our families are too. Maybe, you know, as far as me, what do I do for him? You know, maybe if I had to guess, it's like, I think I take my number one job is like in my life is either dad or father, dad or husband. It just depends on the time of day and all that. And I think hopefully he wouldn't be around me if he didn't respect the role I played in my house too. So I think I'm not going to say I influence his parenting or his being a husband or, you know, that, but he's about 10 years younger than me. So, you know, the things that I've kind of just coming out of the phases with the kids and all the challenges that go with that, he's going into it. And I think that perspective helps him too, because not only is he teaching full time, but he's putting out 3 videos a week, doing 2 lives at least. You know, they very structured, and I'm able to work within that structure too.
And answering all the questions that, you know, that he gets and all the comments. I mean, crazy amount of time that has to be put into that.
Yeah, I'm still not really sure how he does that. Genuinely, I don't know. You know what Dan is? Dan is the guy that I go to his house every Wednesday, and there'll be times when we'll talk for 40 minutes before we start, and there'll be times when we're both pushing out our little things saying we're going live, and we're on our phones until like 2 or 3 minute or 2 ahead of time, and I'm not mad at him. He's hustling. He's making our show better. And he's not mad at me if I'm doing the same or whatever. I'm doing what we need to do and doing it right. I think he can more or less trust me to do that. We're just at that level with the trust and the friendship.
Does he sleep?
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's up right now. I think he's like cyclical. He's kind of thinking about, he's you know, on YouTube and all the things that go with that. 3 children, young children, and then taking on all that and the teaching job, and then walking into water polo. I think coaching that and coaching, I admire coaches so much. That's how I got, that was probably even before we started playing Pokemon and Go together. What I started by admiring how he coached my sons in swimming and how he got there like beyond what I thought they were capable of with, but also did it in a way that they wanted more and more and more. I guess if that makes sense. Like a real coach knows that line and finds that line and can just does an amazing, like challenges, is real, makes them better athletes while having fun.
And makes
it's pretty
them
amazing.
want more. Yeah.
And I think
he's
really a beard. He's really a beard coach. I know he's the trusted teacher, but he's really, he has like these, he sets up a vision, like for the Facebook group, a vision of what it was going to look like. I didn't know what he totally was even talking about, like no idea. But I knew that if Dan had a vision of something, and he thought that I could help with it, I was getting on board and going.
That's awesome. Got any questions, Walt?
I just it's really great what you got going on. And I agree with you. You don't want a yes man as a friend. Nothing worse than that, because they're not going to give you the honest truth, and if you don't agree with somebody, you can always privately message them or talk to them and give both opinions and discuss and learn from each other. And because someone just a yes man, it never, you're not making each other better, and that's the problem. That's a problem with a lot of people, is they want to just agree with everybody and hope for the best. And then that builds resentment and all the other stuff like that. That's destructive. But being honest with your friends and working together and building each other up is the best way to really achieve a similar goal.
You're absolutely right. Like, and I've been thinking about this a lot. The ability to, when someone asks you a real opinion question, do you think, are you trying to guess what they want to hear? Or are you saying what, and there were times in my life, phases, ages, groups where depending on the scenario, I was that guy. I was like, I never considered that I could just say what I really thought, and truly, over the last couple of years, I've been able to, frame it in a way, say it in a way, and have confidence in my opinion that it's not going to get crushed. Like, and I'm talking more like not even with Dan, but more like at work and school and things.
In general,
yeah. And how it is such a weight off your shoulders when you can be genuine and honest and just kind of share something that you're not going to get crushed for. I think there's probably a lot of people that spend their whole lives never really realizing that when people are asking your opinion, they really want your opinion and not what you think is, trying to guess what's the answer that's going to make them like me the most.
Right.
Some of that's my being a middle school teacher for 20 years. You see it day in, day out, rinse and repeat every year. Kids just trying to fit in and belong, and nothing wrong with that. Not at all. That's instinctual. But it isn't really to be your true self. You want to get past that phase.
Yeah, it doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit who you're approaching with it, or it doesn't benefit yourself either, because it's not true. It's not, it's not the true what you're trying to say. So
yeah, it just doesn't go anywhere. It's not productive.
Right. Right.
And you know what? You don't for the person who's trying to be the yes man or trying to make everybody happy, that's no quality life. That's not, you're not gonna realize your dreams, I think, by that. And yeah, I can say that, but until I started doing getting in front of people and doing this and practicing speaking and and putting myself out there and telling people that, yeah, man, I take more baths than showers. I don't know, like my family, you know, opening yourself up to like it could be a little weird or embarrassing things. I'm not talking like crazy, but and then the day goes on, life goes on, and nothing, time didn't stop and your world didn't come crashing down when you told the true, your true feelings and your true perspective. You do it again the next time. And you do it the next time, and then you realize, oh my gosh, that's in your head. I get in my, like, I was definitely like an in my own head guy. Like I was the kid that sat in class and like would just look around at what everybody else was doing and kind of, evaluate that rather than paying attention to what I should have been paying attention to. And now I'm a teacher, so, but whatever that's worth, I think it actually helps you to realize how a lot of kids are like that. Yeah. And you gotta relate. You got to connect, and then you give them, then you teach them.
Yep.
Do you and Dan have a fun little rivalry with the Michigan State?
It was very, very, very low key. Neither team, neither school has had much. We have a lot of problems. Football. You look at the SEC, it's just we're outclassed. It have been for about 10, 15 years. But that's like slight. But Dan he was right on. Like there were times like where when we were early on, like in the show, like people would say, hey, maybe you guys should try to compete in this or that or do something silly for the stream. And he's like, he was not down with that. And I think long term looking at that, I think that's the right move, because when you're trying to build cohesiveness and work together, even though it's all for fun, that time that, plus like legitimately one of my first impressions of Dan as a teacher coming in is like our school can drive. And I always won that thing. Like nobody, I got the kids to donate the most. I would incentivize, I would remind, it was fun for me. Then Dan comes in and blows it out of the, like destroys me. Drops a 10 to 10 times in the first year he's there. He's like 20 something. I'm like, who's this? This. It kind of like was like, oh great, this guy's like way better than me. So there was it was, how is he doing it? I was impressed with that, and I don't know if I've ever told him that, but that was my first impression. It's like, this guy's a gamer. I don't know if I'm up to it, man. He comes to win, and he does as a coach too. Like that was the other thing about coaching is that at the end of the day, his team, I think he found a way no matter what. I don't even know how. Like we'd have 3 kids, and one of them would be like sleeping, and somehow he beat the other team. Like, magic.
You both sound pretty competitive, so it sounds like you could have some fun with that on the channel, but who knows? Huh?
Yeah, we do. But I think we compete as a team. And he's done a great job. Like, his show is where it is because of his grind, his work, his talent, truly, at being able to be on camera. Because that's the big thing too. Is, he's taught me that you can have the knowledge base, and you can have that. But if you don't enjoy it and it doesn't just come across well and in a way that people like it, it's not going to go too far. Yep. Like he was right on with that, truly. So as far as like competition, competing, I mean, I would have fun with it. We could have fun things but I think he's right on. It's just not something that we have just a limit with all our families and all our obligations. We have such a limited time that with the Beard Advice, where we're collaborating to help just kind of fit better in that, but Dan is like, like you're going to go after him, bring it, man. Cause like, I don't know how you're going to get there. Yeah. He's nonstop. He's like, I don't know if you guys saw Hamilton or whatever, but like the dude, like, he's putting out 4 or 5 for every one of my, in some things, and that's pretty impressive. and balances it well. And has like still humility, like humility as far as who he is, and he loves his, I admire, like, he really loves his wife Sam and respects her. He's a man that, like, just like I do with my wife, like, we're equals, as far as that goes. And for all his success, they are too, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, going back to some of that, you can see that why you two get along so well. You've got some of those same characteristics, with the family and with your family, and you can tell you're a really good father. And I think that works together with you guys can compete to work with each other and build each other up like that. Yeah, it works really well. I like that's a good strategy.
And what, a unique thing that we learned later that we didn't know about, we're both like always hustling. We were hustlers. He was selling candy at junior high. I was selling candy in junior high out of my backpack illegally. Like, we were always looking for the hustle, the fun. We enjoy the game of that game of it. And in a way, like, maybe like when, that's kind of where we connect too. It just is a good balance, but, and yet on other ways we supplement too, and it's his, I have no problem. It's his channel. It's his brand. I love where I fit into it. And I wouldn't never want to mess up a good thing. And I don't really have, I've got enough going on to where I don't need to go out on my own or do that, or even really feel like I would have much to add above and beyond what anybody's doing out here,
Yep. So are you planning on going down to the meetup?
In Florida?
Yeah.
No, we're gonna just we're gonna go take the boys to Chicago for the first time. We're gonna go to the Shed Aquarium. It's before I was married, I had like fish aquariums, like a saltwater tank. It was like a 100-gallon saltwater tank, and I'm a little bit of a science nerd, even though I tried to avoid it like most of my childhood. Like, if you would have told middle school me that I was teaching science, I would have been floored. But you know what? Life is really like that, isn't it? It's the things that it always ends up being you put even good money on it going the opposite way, and you end up finding yourself in other ways. You end up finding yourself in the opposite of that. And that, like, is true for the beard thing too. Obviously, that connection is there. For me, going till 40 years old, no facial hair, starting at 40, kind of an interesting thing. But getting back to the beard advice, I really think there's a lot of guys that feel like, okay, I'm not a beard guy. I hit 35, 40, never had any facial hair. All right, that's not an option for me. Because if I take on a beard or facial hair, my wife's going to think that I want to make a big change in my life, or something's not right, or what. And I think we got to get rid of that stereotype of it being anything but a personal choice. If you're thinking that people grow a beard because they're lazy or they just don't want to shave, that negative connotation with it. And I think it's going already. Our entire, like, it's crazy, the culture, the facial hair culture at our little school. We're pretty affluent school, and over the time, and a lot of it is Dan's influence. And then with some of the younger guys too, facial hair, like, it's just like more guys have it. And so like we've gone from clean cut shit. I was wearing khakis, dress shirt and tie every day for like 15 years. And then slowly, as I've changed and styles have changed too, most of our male teachers have facial hair. I'd say if we have 20 male teachers, 18 of them have it.
Well,
and this
even dress style has changed. I mean,
sure.
Nowadays you can dress down and still be considered dressy. I mean, you don't have to be suit and tie to be fully dressed up anymore. You can dress up something that back then was probably a little more casual.
Yeah, and this is in
styles are changing.
just within my career, like I would drop $40-50 on getting my shirts done because I am terrible and hate ironing and terrible at it. But those, I don't a dress shirt and tie occasionally. There's other things I can put my energy to. Part of it is being a parent, and my son it's really cool. My son goes to my school. He's a 6th grader. And the few days we've had in person, like I get to drive with my son to school, to work, and walk in with my son. Like, he'll never be in my class because I don't believe it. I think that he should have his own experience, and I don't want to impact that any more than you already do just being in the building. But like, how many men out there would love to have those moments? And it makes me my eyes get a little glassy when I think about it, but it means a lot. And Dan, like last week, 2 days last week, me, Dan, because we park in the same area, and Owen, my son, walked in together to the building and got to just have like a casual conversation. It was, gosh, it's pretty darn special to have that connection with my son and get to know him as kind of like, I get to hear stories that nobody would ever, like one of my best buddies, he's in his class, and like, you would never know, like, your kid did some of these things, or it's just inadvertently said some stuff. It's hilarious. So it's pretty unique. Like, this is like the payback this is one of the benefits of teaching, is getting to have just that connect, that time with the kid, my son.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Well, I appreciate you coming out there. This was really great.
Yeah.
I
probably getting late where you're at, huh?
It's blur. It's Blur's Day and it's Blur o'clock. I don't know. We've been saying that a lot around here with like how our school calendar, our schedule keeps changing, and it's all Blur's Day. But first of all, I want to say how I am truly honored that you guys had me here. Secondly, I love this format. Another thing that Dan and I have in common is we do like to talk, and we have a hard time. Like, if we've kind of found ourselves in like Zoom chats with 6 to 8 other guys, it's hard for us. We're used to, getting to share our thoughts, and that is, it feels good, but it isn't always, not everybody gets to do that. This format of questioning, you guys, not only, I hope some people enjoyed it watching in the chat, but I really think you guys have got me thinking about myself and remembering some things, and getting just to watch the opening video, and there are some real things there when you look at who I was in the beginning. Like, it's crazy. I mean, it's not unbelievable, but I'm proud to say how far I've come. I love the format of your questions because, you can tell you guys are just kind of, you feel it. I think this works really well. So I think keep going with it. I enjoy it. I enjoy answering the question. Magic City, welcome.
Hey, Mike.
It truly is a journey, Mayor. What you've gone from beginning, and I've watched some live streams when you were first starting out, when I was just starting to kind of figure out Dan C's page, and then seeing to where, I was watching the older live streams, and it's like you went from being just like brand spanking new, fresh off the boat, greenhorn, whatever it might be, and then all of a sudden now
no horn.
Yeah, and now you come all the way. It's come full circle.
I appreciate that. I think I've got so much farther to go too. With this, you never really arrive on anything in life. You just, kind of keep moving. Yeah. But I've loved being here. Love the questions. You guys, this is awesome. The format is really good. I think you keep sticking with this because there really is a beer. It's so cool. I think what you've done is you've gotten, like, just kind of to the heart of what it is to be a beard guy. And I think you're at a spot. So thank you for having me, guys. This was awesome.
We thank you for joining us, definitely, and for your kind words on the channel. We definitely appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Mutually beneficial.
Yep. Definitely like to have you on again. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I would love to. I'd love to.
I've been talking to Dan too, but obviously he's a busy man, so we'll see what happens later on this summer, maybe. So
Absolutely. I would definitely think that he would be an interesting one to kind of the only thing with him is it's like you almost wonder did he know what you were going to say ahead of time, because he doesn't just answer, like he answers facts, like it's okay here, like, but it is who he is. It's not an act, and
Yeah.
I've said
super
this
special
multiple
and unique.
times. The man is a master storyteller. Like
Yeah.
you come across very honest too, man.
when he talks to you, he tells you a story. He brings you into that story like you're actually going through it or you're there. Especially the one where he's getting sued. I still love hearing that one. I've heard that one a few times, and I love it. It's awesome hearing it.
The murder house is where I knew.
That one, yeah.
I heard it playing Pokemon in the back. He was in the backseat of the car, and I had to kind of look back at him like 3 times just to see it. I needed to see his face to see if he's just like joking with me or like it was unbelievable. But yeah, and no wonder he is an excellent, like phenomenal teacher. Once those kids get on board, because he sets the stage. He has they love it, and
Energy.
Such great for social studies. You can paint that picture for the kids. So
Yeah, he definitely has a very strong presence to him. It's not overpowering, but it's captivating,
Well, just like I was saying, you can tell that you're the same person here as you are on screen with Dan. You're not throwing off any, you're just as genuine of a person as Dan is. You can tell. And I've heard that from other people on other live streams, that in person, Dan is the same person he is on screen. There's no hiding behind the camera or anything. He's the same exact person you see it on screen. So
yeah, 100%, 100,000%. That's not a real percent, but I wasn't that strong in math either. Barely. Actually, I finally got good at math in college, and I'm having that conversation with my son because I was saying that's okay, man. Like legitimately, your brain may not be ready for some of that stuff, and that we'll get you through it, and we'll get you there. And then when that clicks, it clicks, and it's a great feeling. Yeah, whatever. I'm always thinking about how to paint things for my kids and frame them to make it get through the day.
Yeah. That's it's good that you're definitely a very positive, genuine person and a great father and a great inspiration for this community. So another reason why we wanted to have you on and spotlight you tonight, Steve. So
I super duper appreciate it. I would say that my time with the Beard guys and Dan and doing the live streams have enabled me to be that like open and honest person. I don't share everything, but I do share my opinion. And I am kind of sensitive at times, and I do get a little emotional at things. But that's the guy that I've said this like 5 times, but from that clip, like that really like resonated with me. And that dude, he wasn't ready for that. He didn't have enough confidence in him in his own word and opinions to put it out there. Yeah. So having you like say that's something you notice about me, super awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Definitely. I appreciate you coming on and sharing this journey with us, because it really is a journey. And yeah.
Well, I hope I get to journey back. Dan, I didn't even know anything about Instagram. Dan put he set that account up for me because I had no idea what he's talking about with it. Now I think it's my favorite social media. I don't know why exactly. Visual probably, but I love it.
Casey?
Yeah, I was just reading on chat there. Sorry. So I think we could probably wrap it up now. I think we've asked all the questions. Unless anyone else in chat has any other questions for me or they want to open up, go ahead and ask. But otherwise, I think we've been on about 2 hours and
Yeah,
so
it's an hour longer
we're
than I
thinking about that
said
time.
we would.
The mayor's
Yeah, man. I was like,
Well,
Mayor,
I
it's
mean,
just an hour, I swear.
I may not go to I may not go to bed. I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so I get a buzz or a high from our streams I do with Dan, but this stuff too. I mean, you guys have built me up with so much positivity. Thank you. Like, I'm gonna ride that. I'm not gonna go to sleep on that. I'm gonna stay up and enjoy it.
It's good to hear.
Thank you. Likewise.
Yeah, I can never go to bed for at least an hour after these streams. It's too much energy.
Absolutely, you get wired.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. We've held pretty steady 20 people in here almost the whole time. So thank you guys, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Mayor, for being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
right.
Everyone have a great night and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.